There we go, all packed, ready to go. And the day is dawning. Right, off we go then. Oh, of course, Livonia Drive patch. Not that you can see it. Into the distance we go. So we have the moon, and then of course the direction we're going in, we have the rising sun. As you can probably guess, it's pretty cold this morning. Last night was -1 and we're now on 0. But it's going to be a nice, fine, clear day. So hope you're going to enjoy the journey as much as I will, no doubt. So as I said last night, we're on our way to Carlisle now, and I reckon that probably at this point I've got, let's see, probably 13 or 14 miles to go, so nothing too strenuous. Also, of course, I did mention that supposedly about the last 5 miles or so from a place called Dalston, the scenery is supposed to be virtually non-existent. So yeah, quite often people get the bus or the train, some stick it out and get to the end and then say it was terrible, but we never really see how bad it is. So I'm hoping to video how bad it actually is and try to make it look good. Right, onwards to Carlisle then. So this is the River Caldbeck. We're going to be following this all the way to Carlisle now, and in fact we've probably been following it when it was in its infancy round the mines that we were at yesterday on day 3. So you saw there the signpost for the Cumbria Way. I don't know if you could actually read it, but it's one of the few signs that I've actually seen. And this is one of the problems, I think. It's one of the real big letdowns of the Cumbria Way. The signage is pretty awful. You only see it generally when you're near towns, and then you don't really need it. The best thing for directions, I believe, has been the Harvey's map that I've been carrying. Can't rely on signage, it ain't that good. So these windows date from the 13th century, and the church was originally on the site of a 12th century place that was of a hermit. The bridge behind me is called Bell Bridge, and it was originally a 18th century bridge, but unfortunately it collapsed during the December 2015 floods. So they rebuilt it, but what I love is the fact they rebuilt it out of the original sandstone. So you can see this. I'll just take you closer as well. We have a problem, Houston. I'm not sure I can use that kissing gate. Oh dear. I could possibly squeeze through there. I'm just worried about catching myself. Luckily there's a gate over here to the farmer's field. So in the distance you can see a castle which belongs to the Bishop of Carlisle and has done ever since Henry II gave land in 1230. Obviously to get to a remote castle you need a bridge. So this is Rose Bridge, and the castle in fact is called Rose Castle. Let's get a closer look. So not sure when the bridge was built, but the castle was built in its present form around the 15th century, so I'd imagine the bridge is similar. Well, there's a lot of information there. I think this bit here, in 1314 Edward Bruce arrived at Rose, having invaded England by way of Carlisle. 8 years later, and in spite of private treaty between the Bishop and Bruce to protect the manors of Rose, Robert Bruce razed Rose to the ground. By 1355, Rose, having been rebuilt, was burnt down again and rebuilt again. Bishop Welton was granted King's permission to crenellate his residence, basically to make it a castle, and it is from this date it became known as a castle. By the early 15th century, Rose Castle had a massive 2-metre thick mantle wall. Wow. Well, there we go. Come and do the Cumbria Way and you can read it all for yourself. Oh, tight squeeze. Oh. Another tight. Oh, not sure I can do this one. Oh, flipping out. Oh, can't. Oh no. So I have to say that has been the one and only time on the Cumbria Way that I've had to take my pack off. Although there has been some other tight squeezes, and I suppose that's my reward for only carrying 10 kilos. So be aware, if you're much beyond that, you're probably going to have to take your pack off a lot more. It's a moment like this I wish I'd brought a telephoto lens with me. That's the thing with photo equipment. You never have enough things. Yes, there's room on this one. That's fancy though. So this is Dalston White Bridge. So I guess we must be getting near Dalston now. Right, I'm on the boring bit now. The cycleway into Carlisle. Great, CW. It's not like you can particularly get lost now. If you found your way across the fells without any signs, I don't think you'll struggle on this. It's not all bad. We do have some sheep along the way. Well, there you go. We're doing the Cumbria Way. They look homemade actually. So, maybe I take back what I said. Somebody's been very kind and added some signs, which are very much needed on this route. So I think I'm very lucky because the weather is obviously kind to me at the moment. We've got glorious sunshine and it's kind of cold enough to not be too hot for walking, if that makes sense. But I can imagine if it was pouring down with rain coming along here, it would be excruciating. I can say it's flat and I can say it's not muddy. So they're the positives. After that, yeah, I have to admit, I'm struggling a bit. What can I say? You can't have everything. You've got to have the almost the bad things in life to appreciate the good things. So I certainly appreciate the fells even more now. Okay, well, and I'm glad I've got company as well. Which reminds me, don't forget, please subscribe if you can, and share with like-minded people. And don't forget, of course, thumbs up for the ducks. Right, only I think 3.5 miles to Carlisle. Yippee! That ain't too bad. Another factory. But somebody has to keep the wheels of industry turning. Definitely has more of a country park feel to it now. And I've stopped at some weird seating arrangement. Not quite sure what this is supposed to represent. So it says Ferguson Brothers Registered Office. So that's turned into a mighty force from when we saw it yesterday at the mines. Guess we're at the outskirts of Carlisle now. So making good use of an old railway bridge. Yeah, we're on a disused railway track now really, going into the centre of Carlisle. So there's the lovely tourist information centre. So would I walk that way? Yeah, I think I would. I don't think it would feel the same in terms of a completion of the Cumbrian Way if you didn't walk that last bit. It's not as bad as you sometimes hear. Right, hope you've enjoyed the walk. Thanks for your company and I'll see you on the next one.